He's in.
No, I've got to come in this. Now, where you go?
No, I'm just doing I know him from
yeah?
before I spoke.
No.
Yeah.
What, you going to talk about my youths now? I'm hearing them to defend them.
No, I'm not.
I've got a job for my black and green over here.
Now we've got to do something quick,
No.
One thing after this,
That's
and
it.
then I think.
Peace, man.
Content over everything.
Are you rolling?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa salatu wa salam. Ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum to the Muslims that are watching and welcome to the non-Muslims that are watching. Basically, I just wanted to do a video because growing up on a council estate and coming from a single parent family, as you know, there's an epidemic, especially amongst us growing up in council estates and so forth, of single parent families, you know, and it's like normal out there. You know, if you go to a council estate and ask 9 out of 10 kids, do you know who your father is? Do you know who your father is? Do you know? Like, all of them say no. Like 9 out of 10 most probably don't know their father, and the one that does know his father, he doesn't live with him. So I want us to look at this and analyse, why has this situation happened? Why have we got an epidemic of runaway fathers, yeah, and single mothers? And I don't think we should call them single mothers because it sounds like they did something wrong. Like when you say single mother, we always think about this like, oh, why is she single and so forth, when really they should be called abandoned mothers, because it's the fathers who 9 times out of 10 are running away and leaving them to grow up and raise the kids. And the mothers could have abortion, even though as a Muslim I believe it's wrong and so forth, and take the easy way out, but they're raising them in their thing. So, like, why is it that is in this day and age that a man will get a girl pregnant, yeah, you know, and like maybe he goes raving, he meets a girl, he gets her pregnant, yeah, she might phone him up, yeah, like months later when she realizes she's pregnant and say, I got a baby from you, and he will either just ignore her, yeah, not answer her calls, you know what I'm saying, change the chip, or just intimidate her and say, listen, if you phone my phone again, I'm gonna punch you in the face, yeah. So why is it that so many men are getting girls pregnant and basically abandoning them when they find out that the girl's pregnant, or even after when the child is born, and they say, I got a 5-year-old child, I met you, we had a relationship with the child. Like, why are they just abandoning them? Is it that these men from council estates and stuff, are they just born evil? Yeah? Are they just born evil and that's how they're made? Or are they born with no conscience? I don't think that's the case. But there's a case where these men are doing evil actions. Like, I would say most men, yeah, in this day and age, their phone, their wallet and their credit card is more important to them than their own children. Like if you're a man and you lose your phone in a shop or something, or you leave it at a friend's house, or you leave your wallet somewhere, once you're aware that you got a phone out there, or you got a wallet out there, or you got your keys somewhere, you go back and look after it. So why is it there's men, and it's an epidemic, men are just like getting girls pregnant, yeah, leaving them, and when they find out that the girl's either pregnant or that she got a child, they are not going back for them. That's evil. I know it's popular, but think about it. People have a child out there. That child is breathing, has a heartbeat, smiles, cries, looks, sees, hears, a living human being. They have it out there and they don't check on it. So what's the reason? I don't think that these people are born evil. I believe God created them and gave them a conscience, yeah? But I believe we live in this capitalist, secular, atheistic society, yeah, that teaches young men YOLO, and it's in the movies and the videos, and it's teaching men that there's no God, there's no day of judgment, there's no hellfire. You have one life and you have to live it, and that one life is about getting as many material things as you want, having as much sex as possible, enjoying yourself by any means necessary. And I call it the religion of you could call it a religion, you could call it a philosophy, you could call it a lifestyle. But what's happening is that young guys are growing up in this society. They're told there's no God. They're told there's no day of judgment. There's no hellfire. There's no creator that is watching over you 24/7 and you're responsible. And they're telling you that you only live once. So boy, if you go and sleep with this, if your life is just about following the actors and the rappers and just sleeping with this girl, sleeping with that girl, yeah, every weekend, yeah, and just sleeping with lots of different variety and races of girls, yeah, and so forth. And you're told, yeah, that there is no creator, there's no God, There's no day when you're going to be held accountable. Then what you're going to do as a human being, when you come to responsibility, you go out clubbing and you sleep with a girl, yeah, she tells you you're pregnant. Now you have to weigh up, do I follow my desires or do I follow my responsibility? And the guy in his teens, yeah, or in his early 20s, or in his early 30s or mid 30s, yeah, and stuff like that, if he believes that he's just on this earth and you only live once, yeah, and there's no consequence, there's no room, there's no responsibility for his action, he's going to do it. Look, a young boy growing up in a council estate with no father. He sleeps with this girl, she says she's pregnant, he's 19. He doesn't have his own house, yes? He doesn't have a good job or a job, yes? So now he's thinking, do I supply it? He's thinking, now, I'm only 19. Do I get a job in McDonald's, whatever, and supply for my youth? How am I going to get a house and so forth? So he chooses, do I follow my desires or do I follow my responsibility? Now, the society is telling him, YOLO, you enjoy yourself, sleep around, carry on sleeping around with her, ignore her. The music is telling him, sleep around, enjoy yourself, ignore her. The films are saying, sleep around, ignore yourself. So the average human being, the young boy that's growing up, yes, he's responsible, and I don't want no one to twist my words. Yes, a young guy that goes out there, yeah, and sleeps with a girl and gets her pregnant, he's fully responsible. But then you have secondary things, the society, the music, the films. And this is why the problems only get worse. Like I'm saying, I grew up as a non-Muslim, I grew up in a single parent family and so forth, yeah? But what I'm trying to say to you, most guys, because of this religion, because of this lifestyle, because of this democracy and secularism and this music video lifestyle, yes, they're told you only live one. Enjoy yourself by any means necessary. So when he's living this religion and he's living this lifestyle and he's following the actors and the rappers and so forth, when he's going clubbing, he's not trying to start a family. So he's going to get this girl pregnant, and then what's he going to do? When the whole society, the adverts, the movies, the music videos are telling him, boy, just ignore her and keep on sleeping around. When you see in the films that I grew up in this society, as I said before, the role models were given, one of the role models I was given was like James Bond. Now think about it, I'm growing up in a single parent family, I'm growing up on a council estate, I'm told this man is an icon, he's a hero and this, that and the other. What was James Bond known for? James Bond known was for punching up bare man, wearing the best suits, yeah, and having bare girls in every episode. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in the last video, the way he used to treat girl, one girl he was in bed with her after he slept with her, she's just chatting, he thinks she's boring, so he press a button and a flip up bed just ejected her. Also, he's always flirting with his secretary, Moneypenny or whatever her name is, and flirting with her and this, that and the other, giving her a kiss on the cheek and so forth, being male chauvinistic with him. So this is hero because the music is a big part as well, but movies as well. And then you got in the music videos, you got a guy fully dressed in a suit and this, that and the other. You know what I'm saying? They may be in a house, the girls like twerking in a thong or lingerie and so forth. And we're learning all this about women, that women are just objects and so forth. So I'm saying that if a guy is growing up in this society and he's learning from society, this epidemic of men just sleeping with girls and abandoning them, you know, and seeing their phones and their wallets and their keys as more important, because if they left their key here or they left their wallet here and they knew they lost it, the minute they find out, they will go out and check on it. So how can a man with a brain and a heart, yeah, know that he's got kids out there, 5 years old, 6 year olds, 20 years old, and just leave it out there? Like a grown man, and maybe he has like 3 kids here, 5 kids here. Why? Because our society is telling this person, YOLO, you only live once. So just enjoy yourselves, sleep around, you know what I say, make money, enjoy your desires as much as possible, and boy, if anything happens, you only live once. You're not gonna, there's no God watching you, there's no day of judgment, there's no hellfire that you're gonna get punished from. Not only that, the law makes it illegal as well. In this country, from puberty, you can start when you reach puberty and you know how to have sexual relations. Go clubbing every weekend, sleep with bare different girls. You can get 5 girls pregnant, yeah, and abandon them, nothing will happen. You can get 10 girls pregnant, abandon them, nothing will happen. Yeah, you can even get 15 girls pregnant, abandon them. They reach 20, 35, do whatever. And you don't check on them, and there is no recompense, not one iota, from the government, from the courts, from probation, and so forth. And then we're making, and that's what I'm trying to say. This society is also, it's promoting that you just sleep around, you just sleep around, you just sleep around. So the whole thing is that, that's why we say as Muslims and so forth, even in this day and age, we don't have girlfriends or boyfriends, we don't have one night stands, we don't have raving, all this stuff. We just have marriage. And it's a deal to the solution. The reason why it's a deal to the solution is because there's no having sexual relationships outside of marriage. If a brother sees a girl that he's attracted to and so forth, obviously because she's wearing the hijab or she's dressing like a Muslim woman and so forth, if he saw her, there's two ways he will have a relationship. Either go to the mosque and he will say, I'm looking for a sister who's wearing hijab and so forth and practicing and praying and so forth. And he will give what he's kind of looking for, and then he will have a meeting. But not alone. It will be in a public place like in a mosque with people around, but the door will be open, so they get to ask people question and question. But the most traditional way it's done is like this. And this is why I'm saying people may laugh at religion and say it's backwards and so forth. But the reason why they don't have this epidemic in a Muslim society is this. When a man wants to see a sister that he likes or something, yeah, say he saw a sister on the road or whatever, or on the high street and so forth, a sister that doesn't have an inferiority complex, she doesn't feel that she's ugly because the society has told you, if you don't have makeup on, you're ugly. If you don't have this cocoa butter shape, you're ugly. If you're not like this tall and wearing high heels and you don't stand up and turn every man's head walking down the street, you're not worth anything. This society, the media, has made the average woman, yeah, feel that as she is normal, as she is, without makeup, without this perfect shape or something, that she is crap. That's why you'll find 90% of women can't leave the house without putting makeup on to feel like I'm decent or to feel I'm glamorous and so forth. Yes? So what you'll find, the society, the way it's come down on women. For example, white women hate the way they look and black women hate the way they look. The white women are obviously trying to get tans and obviously trying to get lip injections and bum injections and chest injections, and there's nothing wrong with the way that they've been created. And the black women, they think they look too dark, they think their hair is ugly, so they wear wigs on top of their normal hair and stuff like that and so forth. They think they're too fat or too shapely and this, that, and the other, and they're trying to get slim and so forth. So the way the society tells a woman was, one, whenever you see a woman, they want to sell biscuits or I don't know, cars or anything, any product, just throw a woman in a bikini in front of it. You know, that's Kellogg's Special K. What's a woman in a bikini got to do with bloody cornflakes, or is what like? Are you saying because she got like that because she ate cornflakes? Is that what you're really trying to say every day? Come on. So the whole point that I'm trying to say is that in Islam, we don't have obviously boyfriend and girlfriends and like clubbing and raving one night stands. We don't have this. And now we have people, we could say that in our societies, people get married for 19 and stay married for the rest of their life. They have 30-year marriage, 40 years, 50 years marriage and so forth. But the way how it's done in Islam is that if a Muslim man saw a sister in jilbab, what we call hijab, yeah, with no makeup on, he just thought like she looks like a good sister, she's wearing hijab, and he saw her, he would approach her, he would ask her for something called a wali's number, or wali's like garden, it will either be your father or brother. Before he even goes out, he meets her again. What he will do, he will go to her house, he will meet the family, he will meet the dad, he will meet the brothers, you know what I'm saying, the mother and so forth, before he even has a meeting with her, so people know who he is. So there's none of this, you go to clubbing, you meet a girl, you know what I'm saying, you have a one night stand, you're both drunk and so forth, she gets pregnant, and then you just dust off and no one knows who you are, and she has to raise the baby on her own. Yeah? There's none of, the family are aware of you. And then what they do, once the brothers know you, the brothers know you, the father knows you, the mother knows you stuff, you're known to them publicly, they know what you look like and so forth. Then you'll have a meeting with the girl, it will be in a room. Yeah, no one else will be in that room, but there'll be people in other rooms around, the door will be open, and you'll talk and you'll have as much meat as you want, and you decide whether you're going to get married or not. Now, if you get married, like, obviously if you get married, when we do our marriage, the marriage is public. Everyone knows that, but it's a big celebration. Yeah? So there's going to be none of this, you know, getting her pregnant and just dusting off and so forth. So the whole thing is, what I'm trying to say is that I don't believe most human beings in this society are born evil. Yes? I believe young boys are born into this society and they grow up into this society. And what's happened, this society defines how you are a man. And if you grow up in a council estate, there's certain primary ways this society tells you what a man is. And the elders in the council estate tell you what a man is. And one of them is that the more girls you have, you're a man. The bigger you are, a man. The less feelings you show and the more material things you have, you're a man. So when you have young guys growing up in a society of movies and music videos, when nearly every single music video, which are little movies now, and that's why I think music is more influential on the youth than actual movies, because they watch more music videos and they listen to more music than movies they watch. They might not watch one movie a month or so forth, but music videos are constantly in their in their ears, in their minds, in their hearts. And if you just keep on 24/7 seeing women in bikinis, seeing women's cleavage, just face full of makeup and so forth, if you just constantly seeing women as body parts, you stop seeing them as human beings. And I think that's why, on top of that, you have YOLO as well. And this capitalism thing that you're only here to make money, get a fat house, you know what I'm saying? Drive a convertible in summer with everyone seeing you. When that's just pumped into you again and again and again, there's no God, there's no day of judgment, there's no hellfire. You just live once and there's no responsibility for it. Like I said, you could from puberty, from 19 to, I don't know, 45, just go sleep around, go clubbing, get girls pregnant, and not pay attention to any of the youths you have out there. And you won't go to court once, you won't get jailed, you won't get community service, you won't get probation or nothing. So what I'm basically trying to say is that the youth in this society raising up, whether they want to accept it or not, they've been given a religion. And this religion called YOLO. And the most important parts of this religion is getting as much material things as you can. Another part of this religion is sleeping with as much girls as possible with no remorse and just enjoying yourself. Sleeping with as much girls from as many different races as possible. And I'm saying as long as you have this, yes, as long as you feed youth with this and you don't give them an alternative, it's just going to get worse. The runaway fathers are going to increase. The abandoned mothers, the single mothers is only going to increase. Why? Because you're just pumping sex, sex, sex and no responsibility. That's what YOLO means. You only live once. And when people think of YOLO, you only think once. They don't think, oh, you only live once, let me take care of the environment. They're not thinking that. They're thinking you only live once, so do what you can and enjoy it as much as possible. So I'm saying to you, either you're gonna follow the rappers and the actors, or you're gonna follow the prophets. And what I would say to you is that the gun crime is also linked to the promiscuous, because a lot of the reason why a lot of youth they go into gun crime and this, that, and the other and all this stuff is because of the lack of a father. Like I said in the other video, council estate type of mind. You can find this video on this channel. What leads to the gun crime is guys going up in a house with no structure, without no man, with no family, you know, with no father, not having a blueprint of seeing your father to go out, leave in the morning time, go out and come back tired at night time, yeah, showing you what work and sacrifice is like. Never having a dad that's a plumber, you go out with him, you see him fix, you know, you're proud of you see him fix someone's sink, you see him fix someone showering or whatever it is and so forth. You see him go out and do something, you're with him, you're learning of it, you're learning with him. Or a father that has a shop, you in the morning, you go and you fill out the empty shelves and so forth. So you're not more likely when you're with your friends on the weekend and you've got nothing to do to smash the shop window or something, because you've sacrificed yourself. Because what's happening is that the reason why we're having these single babies is because a lot of people are coming from single parent families. The reason why we're coming from single parent families, the gun crime is coming because a lot of kids are coming from single parent families. The single parent families are coming is because youth are given this religion of YOLO. And another problem is that we have no family and we have no purpose. Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, that He did not create mankind and the spirits or so forth except to worship Him. So as Muslims, yeah, we pray 5 times a day. We're not perfect, but because we're praying 5 times a day, throughout the day, if we mess up, we're given a reminder about God. So say you're hanging out with people, yeah, or say you're chatting to a girl, yeah, and then what happens is that later you want to go and link her, even though we don't, as Muslims, we're not supposed to speak to girls in a quick way as marriage, like I said earlier. But say there's a Muslim guy, he's chatting to a girl or so forth, and so forth, yeah, and his passions are running high. So then what happens? A prayer comes in. Yeah? After that, he's thinking about the prayer, he's thinking about standing before Allah, he's thinking about the death judgment, he's thinking about hellfire. And then he'll think to himself, do you know what? I better not link her. If I'm going to be alone with her, I'm going to do a haram act with her. If I do a haram act with her, I have to wash before I pray. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to mess up my cycle. So it's a deterrent. You know, also when we wake up as Muslims, there's a dua we're supposed to say. It says, Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyana ba'da ma matna wa ilayhi nushur. Like every time we wake up, we're supposed to say, oh Allah, thank you for giving us life after we were dead, sleeping, yeah? It's like a minor death, yeah? And to you is the return. So when we wake up, we say, oh Allah, thank you for giving us life after we were dead, we were sleeping, and to you to return. So the first thing, we wake up in the morning and we think about Allah, yeah? Or we wake up and we pray Fajr, or morning prayer. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that everyone is following a religion or a philosophy, whether you believe or not. You could say that you're atheist, you're agnostic, or you're nothing, yeah? But you're living in this country, you're growing up, you're watching movies, you're watching adverts, you're watching music videos, yes? And you are following a philosophy, you are following an ideology. So what I'm trying to say is that people have got two choices. Either you follow, you know, the prophets, yeah? And we believe Adam, Moses, Jesus, Noah, and so forth. They didn't come with many different religions. They all came with one religion. Worship God alone. Yeah, have no images of God. God is not a man. God is not a woman. You know, don't worship Jesus. Don't worship Muhammad. He started saying all of the prophets, they fell down on their face and they prayed. They had beds. They wore like modest clothing stuff. Mary dressed like a Muslim woman. None of them said, worship me, I am God. So Christianity today is not following Jesus. Jesus prayed. Jesus worshipped. Yeah? So what we say as Muslims, so what I say to you is read the Quran and you will decide either it's revelation from God or it isn't revelation from God. But I'm saying to you, you're either going to be following a prophet or you're going to be following a rapper or an actor subconsciously. And it works. And it works. And it works. So basically, look, advertising works. Influencing people works. So what I would say to you, look at Beyonce. They're not giving Beyonce, they're not... Advertising works. Advertising works. They don't give Beyonce £1 million to hold Pepsi for no reason. If it didn't work, they would pay her a few times, and then after that, yeah, after that they wouldn't give her anymore. But advertising works. That's why they give 50 cents certain things to advertise, because they know if I give Beyonce a couple £1 million to hold Pepsi, 90% of the people that follow are sheep, yeah? So if she drinks Pepsi, if she holds Pepsi, or she wears this garment, or she holds this thing up, her blind followers are gonna do it too. Some of them won't, a few of them won't because they're open-minded people, but the vast majority will. So if Beyonce gets a tattoo somewhere, people are gonna get. If 6ix9ine or 50 or whoever it is nowadays, I don't know who's popular nowadays, but the whole thing is that if they keep on doing it, then people are gonna follow them. And to wrap up, I would say now, all these women that you might like Nicki Minaj and Beyonce and Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and Stefflon, whatever her name is, Don or whatever. All these women are enemy towards you women. Why? Because the way they dress with just showing their cleavage and their bum and stuff, they keep on promoting themselves to the screen like objects. And when people just see you as objects, and so forth, then they start to deal with you in relationships like objects. I'm not talking about rape. That's a whole different thing. But if all these women like Nicki Minaj and all these other women, before you even see their face, you see their private parts and so forth, then guys are going to see you like that in real life. And please understand, I'll say this 1,000,000 times, whether you're on Instagram or whether you're walking in the high street, just because, you know what I'm saying, you believe this media act, yeah, and you wear trousers that are 2 times too small for you to make your body look even sexier, and you wear the tightest top, and you wear high heels that hurt, and you wear makeup to make yours, because you feel you're ugly without it and you want to look glamorous. Just because you walk down the street and turn man's head, that doesn't mean man respects you. Yes, man will see you and think you're sexy and lust after you and ask you for your number. Just like them girls on Instagram that be half naked in tightest jeans, which is not for your comfort. The high heels, that is not for your comfort or for your own self-worth. But it's to turn man's head. Yes, you're going to get bare likes, you're going to get bare retweets, you're going to get a dip. But in real life, when a man sleeps with you, he's going to sleep with you for a couple of times and then dash you for the next best model. So the whole thing I'm trying to say is you have to say attention and respect are totally different. You get attention because man is man and man likes woman. But you're not going to get a marriage out of that. You're not going to get a 10-year relationship out of that. You're going to get used for a few sexual experiences and then dash to a corner. And when you're raising that kid and you're coming out of testicles with your 3 bags and your utes and stuff, and you've got bogey out of your night because you're crying and your life is stressful, and that guy is still clubbing and raving and this, that, and the other and so forth, following the religion of YOLO, you have part to blame in it. So all I would say is that at the end of the day is that basically, these guys that are going out and sleeping around this, that and the other and so forth and creating all these babies and so forth. You have a creator whether you believe it or not. There's a day of judgment whether you believe it or not. There's a hellfire whether you believe it or not. And man's punishment, just like rape and just like child abuse and so forth, is not God's punishment. Very lastly, 1 minute. Baby P, read about it. Baby P was a baby that was abused by the mother and boyfriend. They put cigarettes out on Baby P. They broke Baby P's arms and legs. They used her as an ashtray and stuff like that. They got like 3 years or something. They're out of prison now. That was man's punishment, yeah, for them. That wasn't God's punishment. You don't put cigarettes out on a baby and you don't break her baby's arms and legs and ligaments, yeah, and that baby's just in pain, like crying and crying endlessly and get away with it. So the punishment that they got was God's punishment. So the punishment they got in this life was the police and the government's punishment and so forth. But that's not equal to God's punishment. So we can get away with things in this life here. We can have youths out there, you know what I'm saying? Like 3 kids, 1 kid with this mother and that mother and that mother and not pay any attention to it. But if you lose your phone or your car keys or your wallet or something, you're concerned about it. You can be like that. But when you leave this earth, you're going to be held responsible for what you do. Thank you for your patience and thank you for watching. Cool.
Come take over everything from your melody. Yeah. Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Right, cool.
Listen.
Right.
Man, don't listen to ITV.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Alright, black power, all power to the people. Red, black and green. Right? Basically, my name is Captain Rambo. I'm of the Black Riders Liberation Party, New Generation Black Panthers. I'm also a part of gang